You may have noticed prices going up lately. Food, petrol, cars, energy are all becoming more expensive. And we're hearing about it in the news. Inflation recently hit a 40-year high of 9% in the UK. In America, soaring petrol prices have hit drivers at the pump. And in the UAE, Dubai lender Emirates NBD increased its inflation estimate for 2022. But what exactly is inflation, and what can countries do to slow it down? Put simply, inflation is a process of sustained price increases over a period of time, usually 12 months. As prices rise, people's money buys fewer goods and services. It's bad because those on fixed incomes, such as pensioners, get poorer over time as the purchasing power of their money is eroded. In general, you get inflation when too much money chases too few goods. Much of what we're experiencing today was caused by the coronavirus pandemic, as businesses around the world deal with both a jump in demand and a breakdown in supply. Higher prices have affected shipping, and those costs are passed on to consumers, many of whom piled up savings during the pandemic and benefited from government stimulus packages. People feel the squeeze in their everyday routines. In the US in March, petrol prices were up an average of 48% on the previous year. Airline tickets were up 24%, and men's suits nearly 15%. And if this wasn't enough, the war in Ukraine has led to a huge increase in the global price of wheat, affecting the Middle East and Africa in particular. One country that's been hit hardest is Egypt, which relies on both Russia and Ukraine for about 80% of its wheat imports. Egypt's annual urban inflation recently hit a 3-year high of 13.1%. Inflation could endure as long as companies struggle to keep up with consumer demand, but some relief may come soon. Jammed up supply chains are beginning to show some signs of movement. The Federal Reserve, America's central bank, has raised interest rates, hoping to cool consumer spending, and a strong job market is boosting American workers' pay, especially among hotel and restaurant staff. But there are still concerns. New COVID variants cloud the outlook, and the war in Ukraine shows no sign of ending. This may disrupt supply chains further, or keep people at home and reduce demand.